employee myself, but who goes into a Walmart like expecting just a utopia of, the country's finest individuals?
That's true. That's
I
that's
go to
true.
Walmart to feel better about myself.
That's what
I
I'm saying.
I can't do that as much anymore because the Walmarts in Springfield all close at midnight, and all the spooky people came out after
Yeah,
midnight.
no, if you want some top shelf people watching, you need to go to like a 24-hour Walmart and show
I
up at
know.
like
Oh
3
yeah.
a.m.
We used to have
Especially
three
down here in
24-hour Walmarts in Springfield.
And that's the best time to do it, though.
Rona got them.
You see some funny shit when you walk into Walmart.
I'm telling you, all the euphemisms that people make about, people watching and the people of Walmart, let me tell you, Florida is the mecca of people watching as
Florida
far as Walmart is concerned.
Is Walmart if Walmart was a state,
That's fair.
and
You
if
know,
the
it's
air
like a lot-
conditioning was broken.
Right. And no, it's like a harken back, to some previous comments that I made. You would be shocked at how many business deals are closed with a handshake, completely shirtless. We're not talking like jacked, like, Dwayne The Rock Johnson shirtless.
No,
I'm talking
like
like
Swamp
Wilford
Man.
Brimley. Wilford Brimley shirtless, but like with a skin like Dog the Bounty Hunter, like
Ooh.
leathery, you know what I'm saying? Whether you're
Hot.
at a Walmart or at your nephew's baptism,
But that's goals, right? Like just being jacked out there doing shirtless business deals.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like fat, like doughy Wilford Brimley type body shape, but skin like Dog the Bounty Hunter, just burnt to hell.
Crispy boy.
And we are
Yeah.
a sports show, so that is what we think about Florida and Walmart.
Oh, I love it. I love living down here in Florida. It's great.
I do love Florida too.
Yeah, you
I'm
better watch
cool
out.
if I
Southside
never
Rob's
come
moving way
back.
south.
I will
Wait, you
be
don't
there
ever want to go to
sooner.
Florida again, Ryan?
I'm good if I never have to set foot in that state again.
I love it.
I grew up going on vacations to Florida all the time,
Ah,
and then we went to Florida like twice as a family. I'm good. There's
you
water
take
elsewhere.
your kids to Disneyland.
Yeah, there's a Disney
That's a-
in California too, though.
Yeah, Disneyland is in California. Disney
Disney
World is in Florida.
And it's not as good anymore now that my cousin doesn't work there, so I can't get on all the handicap lines.
That is, I have been to Disney World too many times because with cheerleading, that's
Oh,
where they
yeah.
have all
Yeah.
of their fucking events. So, I mean, as a coach there, for 4 years, I spent 2 weeks every year down at Disney.
The
It was
wild
just
world
like-
of sports.
Yeah.
But how many times as a cheerleader?
So I competed at Worlds 3 times as an athlete. So 3 times there as a cheer. Well, 3 times at Worlds, and then I cheered at University of Cincinnati. I was there another time for that.
Did you do flips and shit?
I did.
Can
Yeah.
you still do flips?
Hell no.
Oh, it's because you lost that toe.
Were you able
isn't
to
it?
do a full?
Yeah, I could double,
Nice.
double
I've
backflip?
ordered
double full, double spins.
Yeah, I did
I
that on
don't
my
know 'cause my
bicycle.
sister's-
I've ordered quite a few Mick doubles in my day.
Did
Same.
Ryan say you can't flip because your toe?
I did.
He said I, he said I
Oh.
lost. Said I lost the ability to flip
It
because
was,
of my toe.
it was in that toe. It was the flipping
Gotta give him
toe.
one of those
Oh,
flips
yeah.
instead.
Hey!
I'll flip that. How about that? Anyway, so moving on. So let's talk about some sports. So we finally had the first big. I can't even say first big trade because this whole offseason was nothing but big trades, right? But I guess
First big trade post draft.
yeah, like I guess we're kind of out of that stalemate. So Baker got dealt to Carolina.
No.
What do you call that?
Carolina. I forgot we're streaming. Holy cow. Took a big rip there. Carolina robbed the Browns.
Oh yeah.
it was pretty fun.
Fleeced them.
Me.
Now, I'll say this about Baker. Between him and Sam Darnold, both drafted in the same draft, 2 picks apart, they have the first and second most interceptions since joining the league.
Mhm.
But all of that being said, like, absolutely, the Panthers got Baker Mayfield for pennies on the dollar, and it even convinced him to like give up some of his salary and just chalk it up to incentives. So that
I-
was pretty cool.
I've got to give all of the credit in the world though to Rob, because he continually said Baker's going to Carolina, Baker's going to Carolina, Baker's going to Carolina, and me and Ryan were like, "Fuck that! Have you seen what Robbie Anderson said? They don't want him there. They don't want him there. They don't want him there." And Rob was like, "He's going to fucking Carolina." So Rob, kudos to you for sticking to your guns on that. I mean, I guess once you're kind of drowning, you probably were like, "Oh fuck it, I'll just drown on this boat," but it ended up working. So kudos, way to call it.
Man, it was just a logical fit. And if it wasn't Seattle, like Seattle came out and said they weren't interested, it was Carolina to the dark horse, and they were they were under cover, man, and I thought it was like a perfect fit between him and go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think in a lot of circles that I've been part of, I think Seattle and Carolina were the two main candidates. If I know there were rumblings about, well, what if Deshaun Watson ends up getting suspended for however many games and or an entire season, could the Browns potentially come groveling back to Baker's feet? And I know he had those comments that the Browns would have to reach out to him first, to even consider any type of reconciliation. But for the most part, it was kind of those three things. Right. It was one of those three outcomes in a lot of the circles that I've been in.
There was no way, right? Like there was no way that Baker was ever going to play for Cleveland. Like
no, well, not after you tell him like he's going to be the quarterback, and then like a week later, then you trade for Deshaun Watson. I mean,
I don't even think it's I don't even think it's so much like the Deshaun Watson trade. Like Deshaun is better than Baker. No one is doubting that. No one is denying that. Like there's no one out there saying that Baker's a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson. I think Baker knows that. I think it was the disrespect with the they want to go get an adult at quarterback. Mm-hmm. They want to go get a leader at quarterback. And I didn't like Baker coming out of Oklahoma, but the dude is a leader.
See,
so
100%.
I liked him coming out of Oklahoma. Now he did give me bad vibes, like Johnny Manziel vibes. The cockiness, and that's what maybe I'm not a big fan of. But he's a fucking good ass quarterback. Like I think it's hard to tell. Like a lot of these quarterbacks who get put in bad situations, and I can name a lot from the past drafts, they don't have a chance. They don't succeed. And I think Baker was that type of quarterback, man. The Browns weren't good. They were finally getting good. Didn't they make the playoffs with him? He got hurt last year.
Yeah.
They won a playoff game, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure did.
And go ahead. And it's just, man, I think he's going to do great in Carolina. I really do.
Do you think they don't keep him after this year, though? He's just there for 1 year, right?
I'd assume it's a stopgap.
I think it's a proven year. I mean, we traded for you. We gave you nothing. If you fucking ball out, we'll give you a contract.
Well, there's no risk to them at this point. They traded a conditional 5th round.
Yeah.
So we don't even know what the conditions are.
They sent a pack of gum, basically.
Right.
I think it was based off of playing time.
Play 70% of the snaps.
Right. So, I don't know. I mean, I think
Watch
Baker
him get benched
is
65.
69.
Yeah, just bring Sam Darnold in for just enough snaps not to have to pay him his incentives.
Before we get off of Baker Mayfield, I do have a question for you guys. I know the next person's going to fall is Jimmy Garoppolo. And now, where do you see him?
That's a wild card. It's
nowhere.
No, but they're not gonna trade him within let him go within the division shy of cutting him. But I don't think they cut him.
No reason to.
No.
There's that smoke out of camp about Trey Lance having a fatigued arm already. I don't think he gets traded unless there is a injury mid-season. I think they're rolling with
There's
him.
no reason
There's no
to trade
reason
him, right?
to trade him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you've still got a young quarterback that you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
I mean, really the only team out there outside of Carolina and Seattle, right? Like Rick said, he's not going to go to Seattle because it's not going to go interdivision. So
I mean, I could see New York Giants.
Yeah.
But how about Atlanta? Like I know they got Marcus Mariota, but man, he's injury prone. I think Garoppolo would fit good well with.
He doesn't fit that.
No, they're not going to do that.
Think about it. You got Marcus, who's mobile. You got Desmond Ridder, who's mobile. Like you got a mobile system. You can't bring in Jimmy G I mean, he's not going to run the same system. I think Ryan's right, and unless we see someone get hurt in training camp, but they've got no reason to trade him. Plus, he's not thrown the football yet since the surgery.
I'll tell you too, with Jimmy G's talent, and I have to admit he is talented, and he loves banging milfs apparently. Don't we all? Don't we all? I lost my train of thought. Sorry. No, I do think like a really good target for him to go to, even though they have a quarterback, is Minnesota.
That's good.
Do you think can you imagine him with that that talent around him?
Well, how about Cleveland though?
They have
Deshaun Watson.
They're not going to have Deshaun Watson this year.
They got Jacoby Brissett.
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be funny if they end up having to trade for two starting quarterbacks in the same offseason?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
It would be Brown.
What does Jimmy have left on the contract? Is it one?
1 year, I think. I'll look it up.
So I mean, the problem is Cleveland got no capital now to trade for Jimmy G.
No, they give up the farm for Deshaun Watson. But two
shit!
things.
They gave up the farm, the crick, the house, the cows, horses, and everything.
Right.
And
so
the
two
UFO.
things here. To Rob's point about Atlanta, why I don't see Jimmy G going there. I think that Atlanta is in rebuild mode right now. I think that they really didn't spend a ton of draft capital to get Desmond Ridder. So I think that probably midway through the season, they see they're going to be terrible this year. I think the organization knows that. They bring in Marcus Mariota as the veteran presence or whatever, but they give the keys to Desmond Ridder just to see what they have. And then next year, which has a loaded quarterback class, that's where they attack and they kind of go full on rebuild. But second point here, I have kind of a dark horse candidate for Jimmy G to go to.
He's going to say
Why not?
Houston.
Nope.
No. Why not the Buccaneers?
Under Brady again.
You know what I'm saying? Under Brady again.
That would be really funny, wouldn't it?
It would. Texans.
He could roll right back into a starting job next year.
I don't know. I think Tommy Turkey's still got a couple of good years left in him. My dark horse.
You think more than 2?
I think 2 max.
Yeah, I agree.
My dark horse. Tennessee Titans. Mid-season, Tannehill doing Tannehill things, not really thrilling. That's a really good spot for a quarterback, especially he's going to be on a 1-year deal. Let's say Tannehill gets hurt halfway through the season. That's the best spot to go. Without a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
As a Titans fan, man, I'm more Malik Willis.
I mean, Malik is fine, but this is a team that is built to win right now.
It is. You're right. I'm hoping Tannehill has a good year. I mean, I do.
Well, yeah, of course. But he's saying if Tannehill does not,
if you don't give up a lot,
week
that's
10.
fine.
Hold on. You're at week 10, and your choices are trade for Jimmy G, and continue to be competitive and make the playoffs and go on a run, or give the keys to Jimmy G and feel confident that you're going to continue to do well, or hand him to a rookie quarterback that hasn't seen higher competition than D3 football.
First of all, I'm looking at how is Jimmy Garoppolo going to come back from his injury. That's one.
Well, okay.
Two,
we're past all that. We're in the middle. We're at week 10 of the season. Jimmy G's clear. People want him.
Right.
But I do want to see how Malik progresses week to week, because even if he's a rookie, I've seen a lot of rookies come out and fucking just dominate at this type of game. They even Justin Fields said it one time and said this game's slower to him.
Yeah, towards the end of the season,
week he lost his fucking head.
Well, yeah, but it's if we don't give up a lot for him, of course I'll take Garoppolo, but I'd rather just stick to my team now. Give Malik. That's why you drafted him. You were high on him.
Mm-hmm.
He was clearly the best quarterback coming out of the draft. I mean, rating wise, I'm saying everybody projected him. I'm not saying it was my type, but he was the best quarterback.
Blake's biased because
I know
Cincy boy.
I don't think Desmond's the best quarterback.
And you know what's funny?
I
Rick
thought
said
Malik
they were rebuilding
was.
and they were going to go draft a quarterback next year. And then Blake just stood there and stayed quiet. It was like, dude, what happened? Where's Ritter at? Is Ritter not going to get a chance?
Well, no, I said that midway through the season, Ritter takes over. They see what they have in him.
Right.
And then, gauge whether or not they need to pick up another quarterback next year.
They're not going to. They have Desmond. It's fine.
We'll see.
It's fine.
Crickets.
Chirp, chirp.
I didn't
So,
know how to
Jimmy,
respond to that.
Jimmy Garoppolo has 1 year left. His cap hit is $27 million. They don't have to trade him though.
No.
Because it's 1 year.
That's
you know what
money,
I mean?
though, baby.
Yeah, but what are they going to get? It's already past, you know what I mean? Like, now the people that they can bring in are going to be roster cuts. There's not really a good, robust free agent market still right now.
I mean, okay, that's like I said, but I agree they don't need to trade him, so I'm not gonna try to make up an argument the other way.
Right. I just think that, they've got, I think, $4 million in cap space. I don't know how this works, but I think Trey Lance gets one more.
Trey Lance starts week 1 and he has a really bad week 1. He can be elite week 2.
Same.
Starting week 2, Trey Lance can be elite, but I don't want to see him week 1.
I don't think we see him at all this year, to be honest.
Who?
Trey Lance.
You don't think he starts?
Jimmy G?
No, I think they just roll with Jimmy G. They give him a year. He's going to get injured.
That's fair.
That's what he does. He gets hurt. He has 6 good games.
On Trey Lance.
I'm high.
I'm not.
I'm not either, but I think that they give him another year because they can, and then they still have the talent to, get him going. He needed help coming out of the draft. He was a high ceiling guy. He has a cannon for an arm, but he still needed work. And so I think
got wheels too.
Yeah, 2 years, let him grow, let him learn the system. He's with one of the best offensive minds in football.
Right.
So there's
I
no
will
reason.
say I like the prospect of Trey Lance for fantasy football.
Yeah, so do I. I like the prospect of Trey Lance balling out and becoming a fucking superstar because I have 6 of his rookie cards. I can sling those things for some dough.
Right.
That's how I feel about Justin Fields, though, for fantasy.
That he can ball out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to jinx it. I'll just leave it at that. I think that him and Mooney and Montgomery are all set for career years. Hell, even
I
Kmet.
think.
Dark Horse, I think St. Brown.
I have loved that dude since before his draft. Him and his whole family are nuts, though. Equanimous St. Brown.
Yep.
The dude's,
So we were talking about
better than people give him credit for.
In one of our group chats today, Ryan, we were talking about league scoring and point, PPR, and we're all big fantasy guys. So I want to kind of bring this to you because I think our buddy Brad made a good point about when PPR was around, it was a very heavy running back strength league. The game has changed, right?
Yeah,
it has.
It has, yeah.
It has. So, you got to think years ago, back when PPR was a thing, and I'm sure Keith is like, fuck off, Blake, because that poll is still going on in the group chat. But I agree with Brad that, the game has changed, but in the same sense is, we're not giving these quarterbacks different scoring for being mobile. I think it'd be if we're going to start adjusting scoring, let's adjust scoring for multiple things. I'm a proponent of leave it as is, don't change it. But if we're going to discuss changing it because Keith says he's going to miss St. Brown, but if we're going to change it for the league adapting and the league changing because now everyone runs a spread or everyone runs a very pass heavy, running back. So it's funny because you still see I guess now it's starting to change on fantasy drafts, right? Like years ago, it was always running backs 1 through 10. Always running backs.
It still is suggested.
It's still heavy. Yes, it's still very heavy. But it's crazy to me that the league has changed, but a lot of fantasy has not. I guess
fantasy changes pretty quick. Fantasy changes probably, I would say, typically like before the NFL completely does. You know, a lot of these people that are real deep into it are really big into stats and watching, Devy players and seeing where the draft's like tendencies are. And I still think running back is the most valuable spot. But going on what you're saying about keeping it versus changing it, I'm 50-50 there. I like making it more balanced, which is what half PPR does. But there's other things too. Like you could do half PPR wide receivers, full PPR running back. And now you've got, the running back position's now a little more important, even though it already is important because it's, all the top running backs are there in a 5-player cluster. And, we've got a league where it's tight end premium, 1.75 or something, or 1.5 per catch. So
for a tight end?
For a tight end, yeah.
Kelsey going first round every time. Or I guess first pick, probably.
And so that's kind of one of the things
Unless you're Rob, then you're going Waller. Isn't that what you said? You said Darren
Waller burnt me last year.
Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews.
I do like Mark Andrews, too.
I do like Mark Andrews.
I like Mark Andrews a lot. It's an interesting thing, because having that positional advantage is huge. But then you make the counter argument of, well, obviously, there are more non-tight end, non-quarterback spots on your roster.
Right.
So do you look at filling those, you have to kind of weigh, what's more important to you, having the positional advantage at tight end or stacking those other spots, those in most leagues, it's, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, and a quarterback, and a defense and a kicker. And just
no kickers.
Most base level, kind of stock leagues, if you will.
Very anti-kicker. No kickers.
But
I like
no, you have to kind of weigh you kind of have to let the draft fall to you as far as that goes. If a lot of top talent is off the board, maybe you have to kind of reach and get one of those elite tight ends, to kind of help bridge that gap, if you will. But that's the tight end position in fantasy is definitely polarizing.
So
the half PPR goes a really long way. I know PPR is fun because that's you get a ton of points. But now with half PPR in this league, I think it's going to be way more balanced. It's going to help restructure the draft a little bit. So now, we're looking at dudes that are, high volume guys. They're going to, wide receivers are going to have a lot more pull in the drafts. So that means the running back position maybe gets stretched out a little more where you can get, Leonard Fournette in the second, whereas typically on a year with PPR, running backs boom, go 5 in a row to start.
Yeah,
so, I like half PPR. I'm thinking about switching my dynasty league to it eventually. We're already full dynasty, full IDP. 29 or 30 man rosters with a taxi squad and all that. So
Jesus.
It's a deep league.
Oh,
that's insane.
It's a league I won, by the way. I won it last year.
Oh, is that where the belt came from?
That's where the belt came from. It's my own league, so it's extra prideful.
See, I run a league, but it's just like a bullshit league. It was like a bunch of guys that I played disc dog with and shit like that. And we have the wives in it, and my wife has won it. I think 2 years now. 2 years. She had a rough year this last year, but so we do on the flex we allow a second quarterback. So we play one
Super
quarterback,
flex.
but we allow a super flex. Yeah, and
Yep.
I like it. Well, sorry, we play two quarterbacks, and then we have the super flex. So I
No,
like
it's
it
not
because
No.
it's not
no,
three.
that's what we do. I'm
What?
telling you, that's what we do. That's what we do because
So you could play 3 quarterbacks?
yes.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So it's fun because the first year I did it, I didn't realize that I had set it up that way. So we're in the middle of the draft. Like I took my first quarterback, I took my second quarterback, and I was like, "Oh shit, I can play 3 quarterbacks a week." So I looked at my wife who was sitting on the couch next to me. I said, "Draft all the fucking quarterbacks. If there's a quarterback available, draft it." Between the two of us, I think we had like 12 of the quarterbacks. So we
Jesus.
literally controlled everything. People were having to send over like stupid trades for like Sam Darnold. It was the
Wow.
funniest fucking thing. in
Seems
the
like you
world.
guys were cheating.
It just happened to work out though, and she did win the league that year, I think. So it's pretty funny.
Reminds me of the
I
show
have an
called
idea.
The League.
I have an idea for a fantasy league. It's going to kind of be reverse fantasy, if you will. So what if, like, instead of, you know, like awarding points for players like doing really well, what if, you know, you're awarded points for like every interception thrown by your quarterback or every fumble by your quarterback, like just, and if your defense like just gets absolutely destroyed. Like, say you're using like the Falcons defense would be like the top defense or something like that, you know, because they're terrible. I think something like that would be hilarious. Like
You
if
gain points.
gain points for like being terrible.
I would draft
The
every single Bears player.
The Bizarro
Nathan
League.
Peterman immediately becomes like the number 1 overall pick.
He's a Bears player.
Yeah, there you go. Hashtag MV Peterman.
Jesus Christ.
Not to jump off the fantasy thing, but you know, like I was mentioning to you guys in the chat, something kind of cool happened to me recently. So not
Puberty.
next weekend.
His
Yeah,
nuts finally dropped, everybody.
I know. If you can tell it in my voice, but not next weekend, but the weekend after, I am actually going to be shadowing the broadcast team of the Jacksonville Sharks, Jacksonville's arena football team.
That's sick.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
it was super cool. Like they had on their Facebook page, they were like taking interns. Like they had like posted about how, you know, they're taking interns, any like students or whatever that, you know, want to get some hours in or what have you.
Right.
You know, but it was mostly all, you know, like street team stuff or, you know, just kind of like event staff like at the game. And they listed like, you know, this guy, you know, to shoot an email out to and whatnot. Well, I emailed that guy and I said, hey, you know, pretty much just in a nutshell, you know, I'm been active duty for just north of 9 years now. And I'm wanting to look into sports broadcasting by the time that my time with the Navy is done. And, you know, just asked him, you know, if they would
And he has a
willing.
schoolgirl outfit.
Yeah,
This way he fits
schoolgirl
the
outfit.
student's theme, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
What?
Little halter top with like a tie and everything. No, but so I'd asked them if they, you know, would be willing to let me, you know, just shadow their broadcast team, you know, just to kind of get some exposure and widen my perspective. You know, made it very clear I'm not looking for any type of compensation or anything like that. Legit just wanted to, you know, kind of get my foot in the door, dip my toes in the water, all that good jazz. So after I sent that email, I commented on that post of the, you know, Sharks, the Jacksonville Sharks Facebook page where they had posted that, commented on there just to, you know, kind of further bug them, you know, hey, I sent an email, you know,
Notice
this,
me,
that, and the
senpai.
third. And then they do all of their streaming of their games on YouTube. And so like I think the game that they were playing that week, that the Sharks were playing that week, like during their game on YouTube, I'd like commented on there as well. And then this past Thursday, it was either Wednesday or Thursday, I can't remember, but like their marketing director actually ended up emailing me saying like, hey, you know, our team president gave me your information. You know, we'd love to, if you're interested, like bring you in for the July 23rd game, let you, you know, kind of shadow our play-by-play guy along with, you know, our player analyst, you know, just to kind of shadow them and whatnot, and then bring you on during the halftime show, since that's actually Military Appreciation Night, here at the stadium. Just kind of let you talk about your time in the Navy, and if everything goes well, who knows, maybe it'll actually result in a recurring role, with the broadcast team in the future. So hence why I'm rocking the Jacksonville Sharks shirt again.
Hey,
pretty excited about that.
This show will be Jacksonville Sharks fans. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Oh, they killed it tonight. I watched the game tonight. They were playing the Carolina Cobras, who right now are the number 1 team in the National Arena League, and they were destroying them. And the Sharks, they started out terrible. They started out 0-3, and they had this guy named Malik Henry, starting for them for the first 3 or 4 games, and lost every one of them. Then the Sharks ended up signing this guy, Arvel Nelson, who was a form Arvel, Arvel, or maybe 2 L's. I'm not sure.
That is a name.
It is indeed. But he was a former Arena League Championship MVP and stuff like that. And they signed him. Malik Willis gets fired. He ends up getting signed by the Carolina Cobras. So that's their big rival. And they were playing tonight. And I think Carolina's starting quarterback was hurt. So they started, the guy who just earlier this season was the starter for the Sharks. And the Sharks absolutely just mollywopped this kid, mopped the floor with this kid. I think by halftime, it was almost a complete shutout at halftime, but with 2 seconds left, the Cobras ended up scoring a touchdown. But
garbage time.
It was a great game. It was, and then they brought in some other kid to play the second half because Malik Henry was playing just terrible, just absolutely terrible. I can see why the Sharks ended up letting him go, why they were 0-3 or 0-4 to start the season, but now they're in playoff contention. So
how many teams are in that league?
I want to say it's, let me look it up. I want to say it's either 6 or 8. It's not a very big league.
And what is because I know there's a St. Louis indoor team, I believe.
There is the St. Louis Stampede, if I'm not mistaken.
Is this the same league that had the Philadelphia Soul, Chicago Rush?
Yeah, do you remember the Chicago Rush?
Yep.
Dude, I went to a game one time, and dude, yeah. And it was fun, sick. Man. They played at the Allstate Arena.
Yeah, man, I remember that.
So the
it
National
was awesome.
Arena League has 6 teams, to answer your question.
What are they?
You have the Albany Empire, the Carolina Cobras, Columbus Lions, Jacksonville Sharks, Orlando Predators,
The Orlando Printers.
Yeah, Orlando Printers.
What was the last team?
San Antonio Gunslingers.
So the Orlando Predators actually were, I think, in the original league. I do remember them.
There was and the Sharks were as well. They were in what was the AFL, the Arena Football League.
Yeah.
And the Sharks were actually champs of that league, I think 2 years in a row or something like that.
So anyone else find it kind of weird that Disney World, their closest football team is called the Predators?
Really? It is.
That's funny. I hadn't even made that connection.
I mean,
makes you think.
No comment.
Are they owned by Disney?
Gross.
No comment. That's too funny though.
Oh, so 6 teams. Are they expanding? How long's this league been around, dude?
The National Arena League, I'm not sure. I think that they were kind of a bleed over from the AFL, but let me take a look here. I'll look it up.
I wonder when the Chicago Rush stopped. I remember they won the league one year. I do remember that.
When the AFL probably dispersed. What was that, 2017, 2018?
Was it?
Okay, so the National Arena League
owned one of them.
The National Arena League began play in 2017, and the Jacksonville Sharks actually have the most titles. So,
dang.
So basically, you're a bandwagoner.
Dang, bandwagon.
To be fair, I still kept following them since I got here when they were 0-3, 0-4, or whatever. I just love the Jacksonville sports scene down here. It's been great so far. We'll see how the Jaguars game goes that I got tickets for.
Did you see the update I had for you on the current voting?
I did not. Where are we at?
I believe it was 3 for Tennessee, 2 for someone else. I remember who it was. Hold on.
Wasn't it the Bears?
No, only
Bears?
1 for the Bears because
Oops.
I was the only fucking one that voted, Ryan.
Whoops.
I don't remember what the third team was.
What about the Seahawks?
Oh, that's who it was. Seattle had, it was 3 for Tennessee, 2 for Seattle, 1 for Chicago, and 0 for Kansas City.
Interesting.
So at least you don't have to worry about being on that Chiefs bandwagon. Currently,
I mean, that
this
was
week, let's see. I just
like
got
a
it pulled up.
0.001% chance, just because of the fact that it's Missouri's NFL team, technically.
Let's see here.
Tennessee won.
They won last.
They won a week.
Hey, we won.
Hey. Currently, for a second week, it is the Buccaneers, the Jaguars, the Chiefs, and the Bears are the 4 teams. And currently, the Bears are winning with 75% of votes, with the Jaguars being in
77.8, actually. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, the Jaguars, that would be, I mean,
The
the kinda cool
Jaguars
thing about
are
the
in there at
Jaguars-
25%.
the cool thing about the Jaguars is obviously like I would kind of complete the ensemble, if you will, between the Jacksonville Icemen, Jacksonville Sharks, and Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
And you truly
So-
would not be able to talk shit to anybody during football season.
Hold
That's-
on.
I mean,
hold on.
I already can't, being a
Well, that's true.
What
with the Texans.
what polls are you
so.
reading? Because I have the Jacksonville Jaguars at 67%, the Bears at 33%.
What? Really?
Chiefs- yeah. Let me let's see. I'll send this. You know
I
what?
can't see it.
I'm gonna screenshot this and send this in the group.
I'm looking at a poll on the Twitter that shows the Seahawks at 50%.
Yeah, that
With
was
the
the
Bears-
first week's poll, bro.
Wait,
Huh?
you just said the Tennessee Titans won.
Yeah, bro. Okay, we can only
Bro.
put 4 teams, bro. We can only
Bruh.
put 4 teams, 4 options in the Twitter polls. So the first week there were 4 teams. It was Tennessee, it was Kansas City, it was
Well, how many
Chicago.
polls did you put out though? Because where did mine come from? We have the same teams.
The second week.
Now we're all in
If
the
y'all would-
messages.
If y'all
I
would
know.
stop ignoring the group chats that I put in the fucking group, you would know that the second week involved 4 different teams, and we're taking the top 2 from each week to go into the final week.
So
don't
I
trust this. Why are
understand
the
that.
Bears in there 2 weeks in a row?
However,
This-
Because it's
this
my
shit is rigged.
show. Because it's
our
my
show.
fucking. Oh yeah, okay, fair.
He's recruiting like Jim Harbaugh.
But I get what you're saying, Blake. But the one I'm looking at that had the Seahawks, Chiefs, Bears, and Titans,
Yes.
I see the Seahawks with a pretty comfortable lead.
Yes, there were 6 votes. 3 of those
Right.
were
But
Seattle,
you said that the
which
Titans
is 50.
were.
You said the Titans.
Oh, then I got it flipped. My fault. I thought it was Tennessee then Seattle. It might have been the other way. It might have been Seattle then Tennessee.
No, he's really fucking this up.
Hey, that mac and cheese is starting to bang though, baby.
What? Mac and cheese.
Yeah. So I made a
The
thing of mac and
toasty
cheese,
mac and cheese.
and I
Ooh.
put a quarter stick of can of butter.
Oh
the mac and
my.
cheese. Yeah.
Oh buddy.
Anyway, so yeah. So Rick, next week we'll have the final poll between the 2 winners.
Okay. So right now we have Seattle's the leader on one poll. Who was the other one?
Chicago.
So right now the 2 teams that got through are Tennessee and
No.
Seattle. Yes.
So yeah, we
Seattle.
take the top 2.
The top 2 from each week go.
Oh, the top 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Jeez.
So, Tennessee was above all the teams on the other poll.
No,
They still are.
I
They're still
was
above the
wrong.
Bears.
I was wrong. Seattle won week 1 with 3.
We'll figure it out.
No,
Jesus
I'm looking at it.
Christ.
Seattle had 3. Tennessee had 2, Chicago had 1, Kansas City had 0. Kansas City sucks. Bears
I knew
are
I should have voted for Tennessee.
Well, you saw it. Whose fault is that?
I figured if we voted, it was like cheating, so I didn't vote.
Now, again, I will preface this by saying, like, those top 2 teams, that means like you earn the right to try to sell me on that team.
Correct.
That's why Blake put the Bears in there week 2, since they got their ass whipped week 1. He's just gonna keep throwing them in there.
We'll win.
Like 15. We're gonna figure it the fuck out. We will we'll Democrat this shit. We're getting the Bears in there.
Somehow they're not gonna make the Final 4, but they're gonna be somehow in the Final 4.
Hey,
the BAM Sports Show
right now they're
voting.
in there. Oh, that's fucking. We don't do politics on this show. So
what's
back
our
to
fucking
sports.
next topic?
Yeah. So we only got about 10 minutes left. So let's talk a little bit of baseball because we've not talked on baseball. And there's plenty of baseball going on.
Trade. A trade.
Very, very good for me.
A
Is
trade.
there a trade?
Yeah. Rays have acquired catcher/infielder Christian Betancourt from the Oakland Athletics in exchange for minor leaguer outfielder Kyle Stevenson and minor league right-hander Christian Fernandez. So we've had a prospect trade, but Rays picking up a catcher with Zunino on the shelf.
And the White Sox still riding that struggle bus, huh?
Oh yeah.
How's Pollock doing?
He's at. Well, if he would maybe get a shot to play, that would be awesome.
Rob almost was like, he fucking sucks, and then realized who asked the question.
Man, I'm just, dude. People keep asking me like, dude, are we gonna like buy or sell? And I'm like, dude, I really don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. If it was me, I think I would. I wouldn't go full sell, but I sell a little bit.
What could you sell?
Who are you selling?
Like Kendall Graveman. You got a couple assets you can sell. I mean, you do.
See, this is the area that I would.
Only on a 1-year deal, so
I hate being a fan of a team in this area where you're like, all right, we're built to be good, but we're doing shitty right now. Like, should we sell?
Is it bad that like I don't get excited for wins? Like, I think I'd rather look. Tony La Russa's not going to get fired no matter what. But it's like, man, I think like if they win, it's like, all right, we'll give Tony La Russa a 7-year extension till he passes away. It's like, damn, we're taking 2 steps back. He does.
Yeah.
And
he is legitimately holding that team back.
He really
Cubs just took a lead on the Dodgers, baby.
So I know I'm going to be the only one that talks about this, but I thought it was interesting that Albert Pujols got named to the All-Star game. And I know it was like one of those things, it was like a legacy selection, for their contributions to like baseball and whatnot.
Right.
But I still thought that was cool. I mean, I know, I'm talking to a bunch of Chicago fans, here on the show, but I don't think anybody can deny that Albert Pujols is like an all-time great player, in his prime.
So here's my question.
In his prime, okay, I will give that to you.
Miguel Cabrera made it too, though, didn't he?
Yeah, there was 2. There's one from AL, one from NL. So here's my question on that one, okay? Because every single one of these guys has an all-star bonus in their contract. Does Pujols get that bonus now because of this?
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume so, but the
Cardinals
aren't paying him a ton of money.
What, $1 million?
I absolutely love the MLB doing this.
I think it's great.
I think it's great. Yes, so do I.
Do we have our home run derby team or participants yet?
Not yet, I don't think.
No.
Hey, MLB, call Patrick Wisdom. Call him. Patrick Wisdom, Chicago. Put him in.
The 4-year-old rookie in his 2nd year.
Whoa.
It's true. I didn't say he was a bad player.
It's at Dodger Stadium this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In any case, I think that that's kind of cool though. That not obviously I'm a homer for Albert Pujols and like the Cardinals and whatnot, but I do think that it's cool that the MLB does stuff like that. It's just kind of a final subtle nod, to greats, towards the end of their career.
Yeah, I think. Cool. I mean the All-Star game as itself, or like All-Star weekend as itself, shits on the NFL. Like you take the Pro Bowl's terrible. It goes NHL, MLB, NBA, underwater basket weaving,
the National Arena League,
women's gymnastics, NFL.
What could the NFL... I just want to jump back for just a second to the NFL now that we started this conversation, which is a favorite of mine. But what could the NFL do that is akin to the home run derby? Because the Pro Bowl ain't it. I like the skills competitions.
Yes, I was just going to say the skills competition is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that's always fun to watch. Those fantasy football pick me videos from a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, sorry.
I just can't see like the NFL doing like a close to like a home run derby thing, unless they do like farthest pass. I mean, but you're just picking out a quarterback though.
Yeah, you can't, because the home run is the home run. It's majestic. It's a singular thing that any player could do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do think the MLB missed the boat because they should have had that pitcher's home run derby a couple years ago when they had all those fucking big swingers. When you had Samardzija and
Travis Wood,
Jake
Arrieta.
Stop naming Cubs batters.
Carlos Zambrano.
There were other big bats, and like what is it? Bumgardner wanted to be in, and all that shit. Like
Mark Burley hit a couple homers.
Burley hit a couple. Like, you had some big pitching.
John Lester.
Bats. Yeah.
He hit a couple, right?
One. I think that naming every Cubs pitcher in the last 4 years.
I think what the NFL
guy that
needs
can't
to
pick
do,
up guys off first base.
Unless we're playing the Cardinals, ain't that right, Rick?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite clips of all time.
I think that what the NFL needs to do, even if it's just like a solely like Pro Bowl thing, I think the refs like need to start throwing flags and like penalize, whatever team, like pussification, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat the down.
Yeah, it's different, right? Like, you see the NHL, their All-Star game is not a real true game. Like, it's 3-on-3, right?
Yeah.
So there's got to be, like, I get it. NHL, but there's right in the middle of the season. Like, NFL, yours is at the end of the year. So what is the happy medium? Like, I would rather see these dudes, like, if we're gonna play sissy football, let's play flag. Like, let's play flag football. Like, you can do like how the NBA has the 2 captains and then they pick from a player pool. That could be really cool.
That could be cool.
Because now you could have people teaming up like that. We would not see. Like, you could have Tom Brady throw into the cheetah or stuff like that. Like, separate these down into 7 teams, and like they're saying, well, or multiple teams, not 7 teams, but separate these down into 7-on-7 and include the big guys. They're saying, well, how do you include linebackers? Include them. Include the linemen. Let fucking Olin Kreutz go out there and catch a touchdown with playing flag football and try to spin and keep his flags away from Brian Urlacher. And I'm just using those names because those are the guys that I could think of quickly. But keep it fun. Make split them into 4 captains. Take 4 captains, 2 NFC, 2 AFC, the two quarterbacks from the championship teams before you go to Super Bowl. Those are your 2 captains from each side. Now you pick 7, you pick 7, you pick 7, you pick 7, you got 4, whatever, But if you're gonna pussify it, like you said, Rick, it's got to be pussified, and because right now watching it's just not fun. Nobody cares to watch these guys play touch.
It's hard. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. I was gonna say this is kind of off topic, but just talking about like flag football and stuff like that. One of my favorite like things, and probably my only like really notable memory of flag football, just watching it. I remember right after the Rams left St. Louis, Isaac Bruce and his foundation like actually got all of like the old like St. Louis Rams legends together, and they had like a flag football game there at the Dome, and they even brought like Dick Vermeil and Mike Martz back and everything to coach the game.
I hate that name.
And it was a lot of fun to watch. Just kind of watching all the old St. Louis guys. Like Mark Bulger getting in a proverbial shootout against Kurt Warner. That was a lot of fun. I actually ended up getting a free copy of like the DVD and like a little autograph thing from Isaac Bruce. Like I was in Washington at the time, but they mailed me out a DVD of like the whole event and a little picture
sick.
with Isaac Bruce's autograph on it.
That's awesome.
That's pretty sick.
I want to go back. I want to go back to what Ryan said. I like the skills competition, and I thought we should go back to that and do like the top 5 players. Like you do 5 quarterbacks. The person who wins gets that. They get that point, so it's like a point. So like, say Tom Brady gets it, he wins the skill challenge. A point goes to the AFC or the NFC because he's in Tampa Bay. So at the end of the thing, like say somehow you go to tiebreaker, you do a challenge, but there should be like 5 positions. Like tight ends have to do like these drills. At the end, that's who wins out of these. Like whoever has the most points at the end, NFC or AFC. I think you watch them. I think they'll be trying harder to like win these skill competitions than someone just passing and like the refs just say, "Hey, fuck it."
And there's got to be 50... like money on the line too.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's just like a donation to their foundation or whatever, like something like T-Mobile or whoever like needs to put up, $1 million or whatever. Yeah, I'm playing for $1 million for this organization.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see like a skill competition. You got Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Tom Brady, just like them going, Patrick Mahomes. You just all them going at it. Like it's cool, it's fun, but yet they're competing against. It's like a golf thing.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
Or they should just have a home run derby at the NFL.
There we go.
Softball game. Yeah.
Field goal derby.
I say Fields or Brady's in my money.
Fields got a sweet swing.
So does Josh Allen, though. Did you see that video?
Yeah.
He ripped one, dude.
Yeah.
Woo, baby.
I just saw Steph Curry fucking hit it. He did good.
That? He drained that putt, dude.
What about even if it's just like a singular event, what about like a mini like field goal derby with like non-kickers?
My money's on Chad Ochocinco.
The kicker?
I just roll Kelvin Benjamin's fat ass out there and see if we can put it through the pylons.
Literally roll him out. I want to jump back over to the baseball before we get done, though.
Yeah, because we got about 5 minutes left.
They don't have the names out for the home run derby yet, but there's wish lists, and one of them has Pete Alonso, again, 2-time defending champion, Austin Riley, Jazz Chisholm, who I did not realize has 14 home runs.
He's the youngest to make the All-Star game, too.
I have a stack of his rookie cards this thick. Will Smith from the Dodgers, which would be like the hometown person. On here they say, I don't think Freddie Freeman would do it again. Mookie Betts is hurt, and Cody Bellinger has already done it and is not having a great season. And then they got others to consider as Schwarber, Soler, Rowdy Tellez, Goldschmidt or Arenado, Machado, normal names. Out of those, though, I definitely think any right-handed hitter, I think it's going to be heavy right-handers this year because of that short porch.
Yeah.
I was looking up the dimensions of the ballpark earlier, and it is left field. So to the left field corner is 330. Left center is 385. Center field 395. Right center 385. Right field 330. So it's
everybody trying to pull that baby.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to see Schwarber in it, but then he's pushing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, you're right. Okay, so we don't have time for this discussion, but I want to mention it because we will come back to this on Tuesday. also, speaking of Tuesday, remember our buddy Alec is coming on to talk about his go-karting foundation and company that is, or they run national races and stuff like that. But so Rob just reminded me, we talked about this kind of briefly last time, Ryan, about agents and like what is their ethic, requirement and stuff like that. So I'm kind of just mentioning it so this way we can kind of remember to talk about it on Tuesday. I've got that text message saved now, Rob. So on Tuesday when we go to send out
just remembered it,
we'll see it. But yeah, that still is crazy to me. I'm gonna reach out to a couple of friends that I know that are lawyers, and kind of see if they have a thought on it as well. Because like I said, there's got to be some sort of ethical obligation to their client, but I don't know.
And the people who are listening, it's about the Freddie Freeman thing. Him going to the Dodgers, but finding him coming back to Atlanta, playing the Braves, and then finding out that the Braves actually made a final offer to him, and he didn't know about it. That's what we're gonna get into Tuesday. I mean, that's something I really want to talk about because this happens a lot. This must happen a lot, and I think, agents like that either deserve to be fired or suspended. Like that's shitty.
I have more harsher thoughts than that. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying
they should be,
because I know we only have a couple of minutes.
Right. They should be thrown off a bridge.
Anyway, so yeah, we'll put a pin in that. Remember that on Tuesday. Rick, I know you won't be with us, but I'll have both of the boys.
You'll be here in
so
spirit.
We'll definitely talk about it. So Rick, if you have any thoughts on it, send them into the group chat. And then we'll make sure we include those. Don't forget, guys, the merchandise site is live. Shirts, hats are coming. Hoodies are on there. Koozies are coming.
Underwear.
Beer signs, all the fun stuff. So make sure you guys check that link out. It'll be in the description on the video. I'm excited about the guests that we got coming on. I'm not going to drop any names yet, but we got some big stuff coming here, guys.
Got some peoples.
We got some stuff brewing.
I got some
stuff. Should be good time.
Brewing.
Yeah. So, all right, y'all. Well, we appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out tonight with the BAM Sports Show. We will see you guys next time. We'll see you guys.
Bye.
Later.